Hi everybody, I'm Bill Sanders and this is Watch Art Sci, the art and science of watch collection. My plan today had been to pick three affordable watches from the nominated watches from the 2024 Grand Prix. But when I started doing it, I thought, my goodness, there's so many other good deals that I keep running into that are watches that are way overlooked for around the same price. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to be looking at three watch brands that have some of my favorite watches at really good prices. Now, the first one I want to look at is JLC Master Geographic. It's got a caliber JLC 939. There's a picture of it. Now, the one I found was on a company called Bezel, and they had it for 4,980. But it did, the rotor wasn't gold, but it's the same movement. Now, the MSRP on these watches is 14,600. Okay, now people say, "Oh, the quote value drops." The value never drops. The price drops, and that's a good thing for collectors. I mean, you have the watch does not lose one iota of value, of horological value, but the price is cheaper. So I say, "Oh well, if you get one, then the price is going to drop." You buy it after the price drops. You don't buy it before. If you know of a watch that has a heavy price drop, get it after it drops. Anyway, at least that's my philosophy. If yours may be otherwise, because if you get it at like 49.80, you can probably sell it for the same amount rather than you're not going to lose anything. But this is a neat watch, 4 hertz, which I like the lower hertz, but that's okay. Power reserve, 70 hours, plenty of time. It's got date, 24 time zones, 24-hour display, a second time zone, power reserve indicator. Man, I'll tell you, for that price, you you could get a really top-notch watch. Now, another brand I've talked about before, there are two watches that have some really great prices. Both of them have the Hermes H1837 movement, which is made by Vaucher. Why by Vaucher movements? Because Hermes owns 25% of Vaucher. Uh, First of all, the H08 is a pretty good deal to begin with. The MSRP is 5,600, but I found a brand new one with the box and everything on eBay for 3,850. 42 millimeters titanium. It's a really nice sports watch and a good looking one too. It's been very popular, but you can find some great deals on them. Now, another one by Hermes is the dressage, and I've talked about the dressage before. This one I found 40.5 millimeters steel, 2,580 on eBay. Both of these I found on eBay. You know, it's a great watch for an everyday watch, for a good-looking watch. Something else. Now, the final one is another one that I've talked about, but this particular one has more than one lesson to it for the watch buyer. I've been watching this particular watch for a long time, and what happened was that the guy who took the picture of his watch, he put his phone over it to take the picture, and there's sort of a big dark area in the middle. So anybody who sees this watch is going to say, "Oh, I don't want that one. It looks all chingered up." but the sideways shows there's no problem. It's just, why people don't pay more attention to their watches when they're taking pictures, and so they leave this. They make it look much worse than in fact it really is, for $11.53. Now, that's a good price, and this is called a Chaumet Dandy Big Date. The Big Date is different than the standard Chaumet Dandy, because it's got a big date in it, as opposed to a little date over at 3 o'clock. Up in the upper right-hand corner, you can see I found one with with the regular date on it at 3 o'clock, but it has a metal bracelet instead of the leather one. By the way, too, if I got this watch, and I keep thinking I'm going to go get it, I've got a ton of dress watches and everyday watches, but this is really good. There's a term, there's high horology, but there's also high jewelry. And Chaumet is one of these. They were doing the jewelry for Napoleon and Napoleon's girlfriends, and I mean, they have a really storied history, and they're located in Paris in a location, Verdun, I believe, where you have all of the top high jewelry. But this is here you have people say, oh, it's a fashion watch. No, it's not. There's a big difference between a fashion watch and a watch made by a company that's got a history of they know how to make stuff and not necessarily watch movements, but the rest of the watch, they do a beautiful job. I have a Chaumet Dandy, what's it called? It's called the Dandy Arty Open Face, okay? And it's got an Agonaise movement in addition on top of I think they use an ETA 2892A2, which is a good ETA movement. At least it is on my watch. $11.53 because the guy put the camera in front of it. That thing's been for sale for a long time. I think it's a great deal. And like I said, I'd change that strap. I don't know. I'd get a blue gator strap for it. Yeah, you got $1 million watch you're looking at that would work really well as an interesting everyday watch or for a formal occasion. Let me know what you think, and until next time, this is Bill Sanders for Watch Art Side, the art and science of watch collection. It's an invitation to subscribe if you like.